Hi, okay, this is part 2. This is a post-surfing workout inspired by a lot of really amazing surfers that I know who don't stretch before or after surfing. And like I said in my last part 1 video, this is not just for surfers. I'm no pro surfer. I'm an eternal advanced beginner, but this is also really good if you just sit at a desk all day or tend to need to open up the chest and stretch the hips. So we are going to start by coming to a comfortable seat. Now, sitting cross-legged isn't super comfortable for everyone. You can also try bending your knees and sitting onto the calves. And it's really important to stretch the wrists. There's so much pushing up and paddling. So start with your arms out. I do these a lot. Fingertips up. You're going to start to make a fist, starting with your pinky finger. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Make a fist. Thumbs around all 4 fingers. Roll the knuckles down so you're flexing, and then keep flexing the wrists as you roll the knuckles forward. And then bring the thumbs up and tuck the thumbs in first, all 4 fingers around, and like you're pouring the last drop of a water jug out. Shake that out, bring the arms forward, ground your middle finger onto the ground in front of you, and really slowly start to move the palm of the hand forward. You don't have to go all the way flat. If you type, sit at a desk all day, this is also really good, but anytime you do a lot of push-up work or bear weight on the hands, this is important. And then bend the elbows all the way back. And then let's come into all 4s, and we're actually going to cross right leg over left and separate the feet. So my knees are together, feet wide, and cat-cow. Look forward, take an inhale, and exhale, curl the tailbone under and round and broaden your upper back. And you can do that 2 to 3 to 5 times. Curl it under, and again, inhale, and exhale, curl under. And then just switch. So bring your left knee in front, knees underneath the hips, feet wide, shoulders over wrists, cat-cow. Just make it nice and organic. Curl the tailbone under. And anytime, keep moving, that you're bearing weight onto the hands, you want to press every single knuckle down, especially your thumb and your pointer finger knuckle. Good. And then unwind, come into child's pose, toes together, knees wide, and reach the arms forward. Let's come into a quick down dog, spreading the hands wide and just bending the knees right and left. If you're really tight, sometimes down dog can feel a little bit intimidating, so just know that you don't ever have to straighten the knees. In fact, I like a bent knee in my down dog as I shift my hips up and back. So we're going to step the right foot to the outside of the right hand. So if you need to come down to your knees and just kind of do that from all 4s, that's a great place to be. Come onto your fingertips, walk your hands and hips forward. So I'm going pretty deeply here, but you can kind of back off and be here, keeping the knee over the ankle. If it feels good to go a little bit forward, you can take that right knee out to the right. And just breathe. Stretching the inner groin. And then come back to all 4s or down dog. And we'll step the left foot to the outside of the left hand. And again, coming on to fingertips, hips forward. Maybe the left knee goes out to the side. And then next we're going to just come into a forward fold facing the front. So open up the feet, send the heels slightly out, toes slightly in, and just take a moment to take a forward fold. You can bend the knees a little bit here, especially if you're tight. And then we're going to come on to all 10 fingertips. You can see how my fingertips are underneath my shoulders. You're going to bend the right knee. And maybe it's a little bit, and maybe it's a lot. You should feel this in the inner groin. Come back through center, and then bend the left knee. Maybe it's a little, maybe it's a lot. Come back to center, and if you don't have any knee issues and you want more stretch, You can externally rotate, which means turn out, right? And come into Skandasana this way. So that'll just increase the stretch. Get out of here, mosquito. It's rainy season here in Nicaragua. And so let's just do that one more time. Right, left, right, left. And notice that I'm not like sitting down, right? I'm actually staying lifted up. And then come back to a forward fold and just come on down. I like to take both hands to my right ankle and just take a little forward fold. And if you want more stretch, you bend the left opposite knee. And then do that to the other side. That stretches our side body. So both hands to your left ankle, and maybe you bend the right knee for more stretch. Good. And then we'll just come back to all fours, hips over knees. This is a really important stretch, I feel, for when you work your shoulders a lot. It's called Anahata Asana. Reach your arms forward. Again, hips over knees, resting your forehead down. Now, if you have any shoulder injuries, which is typical when you surf, you can bend the elbows a little bit. You can even stack one hand on top of the other and rest your forehead. But if you don't need to do that, think about really straight arms. You want to invite the abdominals in and up. Breathe here. And then we're coming back to all fours. We're going to thread the needle. We're going to extend the left arm up and then thread it just underneath the right arm. Now I'm going to bring my left ear to the shoulder. And I reposition my pelvis really straight. This is a good place to stay. A little bit more would be right hand to sacrum or up to the ceiling. And even more would be to reach around and grab onto the left inner thigh. And I get to roll this right shoulder blade open. Think of equal weight on both knees here. You can take 3 to 5 breaths. And to come out of this, I'm going to set my right hand down again and just reach the left arm up and release. And then we do the other side, right arm lifts. Again, I'm keeping my hips over my knees, right ear to the mat. I have a tendency to throw my hips left. That's why I say equal weight on both knees. And then left hand to the sacrum, maybe up, maybe wrap it around. Wherever you are, you're rolling the left shoulder blade back and down. Stretching the pectoral muscles. Left hand comes down to the mat. Inhale, reach the right arm up, and then release. We're going to come into downward facing dog again, and just pedal out the heels right and left. We're going to draw the right knee in towards the right elbow and hover. Coming into half pigeon next. So I like to start with this hovering motion, and then I go ahead and take my left ankle a little bit to the, my right ankle a little left. And I like to come on to the fingertips first. And if your knee, this front knee's feeling good, great place to be. I like to walk the hands over to the right, get a little twist that invites this right hip back. And then you can come forward. You can stay right here. Sometimes I'll stack one hand on top of the other and rest my head. Now, you can stay here for 3 to 5 breaths. Some days my knees do not like that. So I will take figure 4, just seated. I'm actually gonna just bring my fingertips away from my body and lift my chest. So you're either in half pigeon or seated, figure 4. And we'll come up, we'll keep it pretty simple. We'll just step back into down dog, pedal out the heels right and left. And then draw your left knee into the chest and point that left knee towards your left armpit. And I'm kind of sucking my thigh bone up and then come on down half pigeon. By the way, you can notice how my left heel's pretty close to my groin. That's okay. I have tight hips. So you're walking the hands over to the left. It's a twist to the left. And then you can stack one fist on top of the other and rest the head. Or taking left ankle over right knee, fingertips away and lifting the chest. So important to stretch the hips, no matter what sport you do. And then on this one, we're just gonna come up and bring the back leg forward. And we're gonna come onto the back, and we're gonna take final spinal twist. Draw your right knee into the chest. And then take your left hand and guide that knee all the way over to the left, and extend your right arm out and look to the right. This is called final spinal twist. It's a really simple, yummy stretch that you can do before or after a surf session. So I use my left heel of my hand in my right hip crease, and I traction my right hip down towards my bottom foot. And then come back to center, both hands on top of that knee, and pull that knee in towards the right armpit, and then switch. Draw your left knee in, use your right hand, lead it to the right. Extend your left arm out and look to the left. I'm going to take my right heel of the hand to the left hip crease and just push it away. If you're lucky, you'll get a little adjustment in your low back. To come back, grab onto the left knee, pull it in towards the armpit. And then we're going to cross the ankles, grab behind the knees, and just rock and roll back and forth on the spine. If that doesn't feel good, then you can skip that part. This is a really good way to stimulate your nervous system in a good way. And then come on up to seated, cross-legged, or sitting onto the heels. You can sit on a chair as well. And we're just going to take the left arm over the head and just guide that left ear to the shoulder for a neck stretch. Sometimes I'll take my right arm out, flip the palm up, and reach with this arm. We'll keep it simple, and we'll just do the other side. So I'm taking right arm up and over, leading the right ear to the right shoulder. If you want more, extend your left arm out, palm up, and reach. Good. And then bring the hands down onto your thighs, and keeping your spine tall, look down. So you're stretching the neck extensors. And then we'll strengthen the neck extensors by interlacing the hands together behind the head, reaching the elbows forward, and then think about pressing your head into the back of your hands and lift your heart. And release. If you have a little extra time, come standing, and we'll do just a quick warrior series. I'm gonna bring my left leg out. You can see how my left knee is over the left ankle. Right toes are pointing forward, level hips, reach the arms out. Reverse warrior. Take your back hand, my left hand, just below the hip and reach back. You can see how this front knee is stacked over the ankle, really important. And then bring your left forearm to the thigh. And instead of slumping here, push away. You can always slice this arm up or keep it to the hip. And then we're just going to straighten that leg. Left toes forward, bring the right toes forward. Warrior 2. Bring the arms out. Reverse warrior. I'm going to take my left hand just below my hip to support the back. And then bringing this right forearm to the right thigh. Spreading that hand. You can stay here with the hip or extend the arm out. Come on up. Both toes forward, heels slightly out, toes slightly in. You can clasp the hands behind the back. If that's too much, hands to hips, and we'll just end with a forward fold. And I like to interlace my hands at the nape of my neck and just neck traction it out. So those are just some really simple stretches that you can incorporate. Thanks guys, hope you enjoy. Open to your feedback.